Oh, wow.
Gang, it's been a hot minute. Life's been super busy. I moved, bought a place, got married, all within 10 days. So needless to say, I haven't been playing a ton of Warzone lately, but I'm slowly getting back into things. And obviously with Season 6, we've got a whole new set of ground loot weapons. From the looks of things, Raven heard the cries of the community and basically went back to how things were in Season 4 and then some. It's tons of meta options again. It's gonna be spicy at the drop. Looking at things, this is probably gonna be the strongest set of ground loot that we've ever had. In general, weapons have better barrels, the best barrels, more ammo capacity. This is ground loot just for Verdansk, BR, and Rebirth. I know Iron Trials has its own set of ground loot. You know, it's a limited time mode. I just don't have the time to figure out this whole new set of ground loot for just Iron Trials. I wish I had the time, but I don't. So there's plenty to get into today. And as always, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. We are almost at 500 subs. I know Season 5 has been a bit slow, I think, just in general Warzone, but hopefully this is going to be a good season. And then we've got Vanguard coming, so things should pick up. Thank you guys always for the support, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. All right, so starting with the SMGs, we have the MP5, one of the top SMG options at the moment. Rare and above come with the 50 round drum mag, Tiger Team for increased mobility, and the top stock option, the Raider stock. Epic adds suppression, and the legendary adds a task force. Most of the common builds on WZ ranked don't use a barrel, since the task force actually increases your recoil. So I would say probably the epic over the legendary, but both are S tier. The rare is an A tier weapon, and uncommon, common are high B. Some very nice no-name options. AK-74U, it's been getting some attention from the YouTubers. All versions have 40 rounds, which is really nice, especially for the uncommon version. Rare and above add task force barrels and likely a serpent wrap. Epic, obviously suppression again, and the legendary a Tiger Team spotlight. So preference is going to come between, for epic versus legendary, it's going to come down to either you want movement speed, increased movement speed, or stealth if you don't like flashing a spotlight around. Either way, both are S tier. AK-74U has a really good neck multiplier, so it's a bit of a high skill ceiling, but it's definitely up there as one of the top options as well. Rare A tier, uncommon low A, really good uncommon option because of that 40 rounds. It's possibly one of the best green or uncommon options. Next, we've got the Mag 10. All have 53 round mags. Tiger Team for movement. You're kind of sensing the pattern. Raven's using the same meta weapons. Epic against suppression, legendary task force. Legendary is close to a meta build. Most use a Raider stock over a serpent wrap. But however, legendary epic S tier. Your choice between an MP5, AK-74U, or the Mag 10, it's going to come down to your preferences. They're all really good options. The rare Mag 10 is A tier. PPsH, they all got 74 rounds, which is glorious. Task force barrel. The rare is probably going to be a very highly used weapon for me. Obviously, it's going to be dropping more than other weapons. Legendary epic, those are probably the top SMGs for me because I usually run a sniper rifle. So the PPsH is one of the top sniper support options. The rare is A tier, possibly low S, even if it's not suppressed, but we'll have to see. KSP, possibly a rare version out there, but I've not found it. If it is, it's just take off the suppressor. Epic, legendary, doesn't really matter. C tier, because you can only beat someone if you're hitting all your headshots. So that's 2 bursts. Not impossible, but practically speaking, probably not likely. And so it's very high skill, and you're probably just not going to want to use this gun. The nail gun is still around, very competitive TTK up there with the MP5. It's just not suppressed, has a small mag, so it's high B. It's gonna get the job done, but there are so many options, as you can see. Moving on to the assault rifles, we've got the Krig 6, you know, multiple nerfs, the mighty have fallen. It's definitely fallen off the top. It was like so highly used for a while. They all versions have a field agent grip. There's actually 2 common ARs, Krig 6 and Grav. All have a field agent grip. Rare adds 60 rounds. So that's really nice on a rare weapon to have 60 rounds and a 3x. Legendary adds a ranger barrel. So legendary I think is S tier, probably on the lower end because it's not the fastest. It's pretty slow killing these days, but it's accurate. Epic still has probably low S tier. The rare I think A tier. I think it's gonna be a solid option, especially if it drops, you know, as a rare should pretty frequently. And uncommon, low B. Yeah, Krig's just, there's better uncommon options. Grav is a new weapon for season 6. Uncommon is looking really good. It's got 50 rounds. So for an uncommon weapon, AR, that's very abnormal. And that's gonna be, like I've said, I really like high mag capacity, especially early on. Uncommon looking really good. Rare and up at a 4x in field agent. J-Guide, Truegamedata, they've looked at it. It's very bouncy visual recoil. I'm gonna guess they're gonna fix that at some point. Right as of now, it's not great at range. I'm gonna try it out, but I don't think it's gonna be very controllable. So the legendary epic, I don't think it's gonna be S tier, even though it's got good mag capacity. I think it's just gonna be a little too bouncy. I think it's gonna probably be somewhere in A. The rare is also A, low A, high B. I think the uncommon's really gonna be really good. I think it's gonna be possibly better than the rare. FFAR, all versions have 50 rounds, Raider stock, and a takedown barrel. Legendary adds a serpent wrap. I think it's still S tier. Like I said, I think I'm gonna have to split S tier into multiple 2 tiers. Rare is A tier. You know, it has 50 rounds. Like a 50 round solid weapon. That's right now A tier. But what's A tier might become B tier actually, honestly. So we'll see. QBZ. So this is a rare oddity. The rare and epic follow the same pattern. They have task force, microflex, LAD, and likely a serpent wrap. The legendary, however, they kind of did a whole rework. It's got a field agent grip, still got the task force, 3x6. It's basically a meta long range QBZ. Again, Raven trying to drop meta weapons everywhere because people were complaining about last season's ground loot. So legendary S tier, really good. Like could be one of the top options. Like it's a loadout replacement base. Epic, low A, high B. They're more short range, and the QBZ is not the best up close, but it's accurate. So it's gonna get the job done. But it also only has 30 rounds. Rare is gonna be B tier. EM2, more meta buildage. Agency task force, 40 rounds, 3x. Legendary adds a field agent grip. So this is a the final one is a meta EM2. So it's going to be high S tier because EM2 is one of the best long range weapons. It did get a kind of recoil slight nerf, but it still looks pretty good according to Truegamedata. The epic is just going to be behind it, less recoil control without the field edge. FARA A3, another meta build. Agency Spetsnaz 3x 45 round on the legendary with a wrap. I played around with it. Obviously FARA is not Plaza Security FARA back in the day, if you remember. FARA is not as dominant as was then, but it's still a really good option. And so this, I think, is going to be a highest tier weapon. This is going to be accurate. It's gonna delete. And so again, just like so many good options. Epic, high A, because it only has 30 rounds. Moving on to LMGs, we have the RPD back as the common version. I did not find the legendary version yet. I know it's out there, and I imagine it'd add a barrel, probably like a task force barrel. The epic does not have it. Legendary epic, I think still at the end of the day is A tier because it's not scope. So I think that kind of caps you up to like 60 meters. And the rare uncommon high B, it's a solid rare uncommon and the common one are high B. I think it's a solid pickup at the beginning, but I think an MG82, AK74U, MP5, those I would probably take over an RPD. Speaking of the MG82, it's back, uncommon and above. TTK is super competitive right now. You just have to kind of manage the ADS and the open bolt delay. All have field agent. Rare and above have a 3x and serpent wrap. Legendary adds the task force, but I really wouldn't. It's hard to push this beyond 50-60 meters with that high vertical recoil, but if you can control it, by all means. For me, epic ledge, high A because it's not that range beamer. The rare low A, the uncommon low A. It's a great uncommon option. There are so many. The AK-70, the Grav, MG82, RPD. Tac rifles, DMR is the common version. Uncommon and above all have titanium barrels. Rare and above have 3x and 30 rounds. With the adjustments to kind of like the long-range TTK of ARs, can tac rifles break in? DMR might. I think if you look at the TTK charge DMR, if you're hitting shots, can be competitive. I'm going to put it like high, mid B for now, and we'll see how it plays out. But and the rare low B, uncommon high C. But we'll see. I think harder is for the burst rifles, the CARV. Again, you got some meta builds, but again, it's in a pinch. You have to drop on someone. Will you get the job done? Probably. They are suppressed, but I don't think they're going to be anything more than low B. Same thing with the AUG. They're just, the TTK for both of these are not competitive, even with the meta build. But again, they're suppressed. And if it's all you got, just make sure you have the advantage and you'll probably get it done. But who knows? People these days are super sweaty, sprinting around, juking around. People can get away from a burst rifle. It's kind of crazy. Sniper rifles, only 2 this time around. Pelington's back. It's been a while, but because of that monopoly of the Swiss Kar 98. But Pelington's always really solid. A couple seasons ago with the ground loot, Pelington definitely loved it. And now they're back and they all have combat recons. And Epic Ledge have 8, wrap suppressors. So it's like, boom. Again, we've got meta sniper rifles, Legendary Epic S tier, rare A tier, and I think this or the rare Swiss going to be seeing a lot of work this season for me. The Swiss, yeah, meta ground load Swiss is back. Kinda, I mean, it doesn't have a wrap suppressor, it has a sound moderator, but I think in the ranges that you'll probably be using it, like 200, 250, you'll be fine. Sure, you might not want to push it out 400 meters that you might with your meta Swiss, but it's going to be even actually snappier up close. So again, the rare is going to, if it drops a lot, it's going to be a great option. Something I'm going to put a lot of use into. And the Legend Epic Easy S tier. Pistols, Diamatti, they do give more ammo, which is great. 24 and up, uncommon and up have 24 rounds. But just given how good the rest of the field, it's hard to put these Diamattis higher than low B. They can get the job done. I would take it over like a burst rifle, and the rare uncommon probably like high C. The suppressed versions I would take over the suppressed burst rifles, but not the unsuppressed one. AM63, Raven heard our cries. I don't know if they're watching this channel, but we were like, please give us more than 15 rounds to make this usable. And so they decided to add 30 rounds to the rare and up versions. AMP has a really good TTK, so this could be a sleeper pick. I know it's not the easiest thing to control. High B, low A, probably high B, though it is silenced and it has good TTK. So we'll see where it sits. Shotguns, they have added a shotgun. Yes, we have Ironhide. It's part of the battle pass, but we still have a Hauer. They still kept the Hauer in even after adding another shotgun. And frankly, the Ironhide is kind of like another Hauer. So it's, if anything, we've got double Hauers. Nothing really to be too excited about with the Ironhide. I kept calling it Ironside. The Ironhide seems like a slower killing, more ranged Hauer according to Al Guntaf, the shotgun so C tier, it's C tier, and you really have to ADS with this one. Apparently hipfire, but that's like the Hauer. You got to hipfire, you got to ADS with the Hauer. Speaking of the Hauer, yes, again, 4 versions. Silenced, the legendary epic ones. So, but that doesn't mean too much. You're going to be super loud. You're going to be up close. Forever C tier. Forever Hauer. That's the way. Same launchers as always. And, well, that's it. That's it, gang. As you can see, there are tons of near meta builds for plenty of meta or top tier viable options. And with the meta as open as ever, this is going to make for some pretty interesting times at the drop. You're going to feel good because you're going to be like, I have a really good gun, but you got to remember that your opponent probably has just as good a weapon as you do now. So it's not the, I get a super grounded weapon, I can push. You probably have to be, situational. So yeah, the tier list is going to be quite interesting. We're going to have to see how we can differentiate between so many great options. I think, like I said, S and A is probably going to have to be split into 3 tiers. And so the tiers list is going to look a little different. And I'm going to try to get that out as soon as I can. And hope when I see you guys on the other side on the next one, we have hit 500 subs, but whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you found it informative, and I will catch you all on the next one.